I didn't go live because I wanted revenge. I went live because my hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and I didn't trust myself to stay silent anymore. My fiancé and I had been together for 4 years. Wedding plans were already moving. Deposits paid. Guest lists argued over. From the outside, we looked solid. Inside our apartment, though, something had shifted months earlier. She guarded her phone like it was a passport. Late nights became normal. And whenever I asked if something was wrong, she'd sigh and say I was being insecure. The night everything broke, she told me she was meeting coworkers for drinks. Nothing unusual, she said. I stayed home, scrolling aimlessly, trying to ignore the pit in my stomach. Then a message popped up from someone I barely knew, an old college acquaintance who happened to follow her on social media. "Hey, is everything okay between you two?" I stared at the screen before replying. "Why?" A minute passed. Then a photo arrived. It wasn't graphic. It didn't need to be. She was sitting close to a man I didn't recognize, his arm around her shoulders, her head tilted toward him. Familiar. Intimate. Comfortable in a way that doesn't come from friendship. Something inside me snapped, not loudly, but completely. I didn't confront her right away. I grabbed my keys and drove to the bar in the photo. Every red light felt like a countdown. I kept telling myself there had to be an explanation. That I was about to embarrass myself. I wasn't. They were still there when I arrived. Same corner booth. Same closeness. She was laughing in that carefree way she hadn't laughed with me in a long time. When she looked up and saw me, her smile collapsed instantly. She stood up so fast she nearly spilled her drink. "What are you doing here?" she asked, like I was the one who didn't belong. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because I'd been silenced for months. Maybe because I wanted witnesses to the truth so I couldn't be gaslit later. Maybe because I needed the lie to die publicly. I opened Facebook. My finger hovered for a second. Then I went live. At first, the camera caught the table, the dim lights, the half-empty glasses. Then I turned it toward her. Her face drained of color. The man beside her stood up immediately and tried to step out of frame. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just spoke calmly, which somehow made everything worse. "This is my fiancé," I said. She told me she was out with coworkers. Viewers started joining fast. Comments appeared. Questions. Shocked reactions. She begged me to stop. Whispered my name. Tried to grab my phone. I stepped back. The man muttered something about privacy and misunderstanding. I looked at him for a second, then back at her. "Is he a coworker?" I asked. She didn't answer. That silence felt louder than any confession. I ended the live stream less than 2 minutes later and walked out. My legs felt numb. I sat in my car for a long time before I could even start the engine. I thought the nightmare would end there. I was wrong. By morning, the video had spread far beyond my friends list. Screenshots. Screen recordings. Messages from strangers. Some supportive. Some cruel. Some blaming me for airing private business. Her family called me furious, accusing me of humiliating her. Her friends said I was toxic, controlling, dramatic. She texted nonstop, switching between apologies and accusations. She said I ruined her life. That I turned a mistake into a disaster. She never once said she was sorry for cheating. The man from the bar vanished instantly. Blocked her. Denied everything. Told people she was obsessed and unstable. The confidence he had that night disappeared the moment consequences showed up. I called off the wedding 3 days later. That's when the real fallout began. Lost friendships. Awkward explanations. Venues that didn't refund deposits. Nights where I replayed everything and wondered if I could have handled it differently. I won't lie, there are days I regret pressing that button. Not because it exposed her, but because it exposed me too. My pain. My shock. My worst moment. But I also know this. If I hadn't gone live, the story would have been rewritten. I would have been painted as paranoid. The truth would have been buried under excuses and half-answers. That live stream didn't end my relationship. It ended the lie. And the nightmare that followed wasn't caused by the camera. It was caused by everything she thought she could hide, finally stepping into the light.